11 key trends for the whiskey market in 2026. This is according to Forbes magazine. Let's talk about it. First, production and inventory start syncing with consumption. I think most of us know that the whiskey market is down due to the boom of the earlier part of this decade. Some of these distillers are just stuck with an oversupply of things. So we've seen companies like Jim Beam who are halting production in 2026 that are basically just trying to catch up with the fact that they have too much of an oversupply of product. Price resets because of this oversupply. Bottles in like that $30 to $70 range are going to become, again, the center of gravity for what people purchase. What this means is those bottles, like in that higher luxury category, are going to be more scrutinized. Could be a good thing for the consumer because a lot of those bottles may come down quite a bit in price. And transparency is a purchasing driver. Consumers of whiskey are getting more smart about what they want in their whiskey. So the proof, the age statement, the mash bill, more transparency on the label for distillers is probably a good thing for them because more people tend to buy knowing exactly what's in that bottle. American single malt has finally arrived. So this became an official whiskey category in 2025. And frankly, it was the only category to grow in 2025. So be on the lookout for more good bottles in this category. Rye's second wave beyond the 95-5 formula. So many of the popular ryes out there follow that 95% rye, 5% malted barley mash bill. Many distillers are experimenting with different variations of that to see if they can come up with different flavor profiles. Blending is a craft. So in the past, people might shy away from blends. They like the realness of like the distillery producing and bottling their own stuff. But more and more brands like Barrel, Frank August, these banger bottles that are out there that just taste really good are really hitting now. So people just want something that tastes good, that is really well produced, and they don't care if it's a blend anymore. Finishing is more focused and restrained. So many distillers have been experimenting, could be a marketing ploy, of finishing or maturing bourbon in barrels that held a different spirit. So think of like tequila, port wine, things like that. Many of the distillers are claiming that they're just going to go back to the simplicity, the roots of just finishing and maturing in their own barrels, maybe a second more mature barrel. But simplicity is key, and moving back to that is what a lot of distillers want to do. Proof and drinkability both matter. So the two fastest growing whiskey segments, lower proof and high proof enthusiast releases. The middle is shrinking. So lower proof is a good introduction to people that are new to bourbon, want to understand and learn the game a little bit. Easier to sip. The high proof is for a lot of us, like your connoisseurs that are just seeking those drinkable high proof releases that are hard to find. That category I don't think is ever going to go away. Craft distilling is maturing. So in simple terms, craft distilleries are just getting better. They're getting better at blending, better at not missing out on experimental releases like it says here. Look for your craft distilleries to just get a little bit better as that market has grown. Regional identity is a meaningful differentiator. So some of these distilleries out there, based on where they're located, are developing their own identity. Texas and Colorado being the biggest ones that kind of have their own flavor profile, others to follow. But think of great brands such as Old Elk out of Colorado, Still Lawson out of Texas. There's just regionality to some of these things out there. And it's all about the whiskey experiences. Please excuse this nice ass above my head. Experiences are actually growing quite a bit. So distillery tours, traveling to go and visit these different distilleries is actually way up compared to the market. The bottom line is there's always ebbs and flows and variables that affect the whiskey market year over year. I think that 2026 is actually going to be a great year for the consumer.